Good morning, everyone. I'm J. Lenora Bressler, and welcome to the September 23rd, 2024 edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Why is Jesus called a wildflower? And what does that mean to us? In the Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1, we read these words, "I am a rose of Sharon, a lily of the valley." Some of you know that I love Song of Solomon. It's a beautiful love poem. It's a metaphor about Jesus Christ and his bride, the church. So Jesus is the bridegroom. And you want to talk about a mutual admiration society. That is the Song of Solomon, because it goes back and forth with the bridegroom and the bride just heaping accolades upon one another in such an appreciation for their attributes. It's really a beautiful thing. Would that we who are married would always do likewise. But what I want to call your attention to is this. In that verse, it's not the bride that is speaking. It is the bridegroom. It is the Messiah. So the Messiah is self-identifying as a rose of Sharon, as a lily of the valley. Now, what does that mean? Well, first of all, we need to understand that the word in the ancient Hebrew that is being translated, the words of lily and rose, are actually not what we think of today as a rose and a lily. A rose and a lily, generally, we consider them to be cultivated flowers, something that man helps along. We do. We talk about cultivating roses and all, and some of you may have roses. I've tried to have roses. It didn't work too well. But you have to work on certain flowers. That is not what is being described here. The word for rose and lily in the ancient Hebrew is just wildflower. It's a wildflower. You say, well, why is that important? It's important because what Jesus, the Messiah, through this metaphor is trying to get across to us is that Jesus, God, does not need cultivation by man. He does not need our help. He does not need us to try to sell him, meaning to brand him in a way that we think it makes him a little more palatable, a little more appealing. The only thing that you do for a wildflower is you appreciate it and you call people's attention to it. There's nothing you do to change it. You didn't bring it into existence, and there's nothing that you can do. It is complete and whole without your help. And I think that's very important in this day and age because, I think that sometimes we think, well-meaning maybe, people trying to bring others to the Lord, that we have to kind of do a sales job for Jesus, that some of his sayings are a little difficult to understand or a little difficult to accept. And so we need to just put a little polish on that, and make him a little more appealing. No, you don't cultivate wildflowers. There's nothing necessary nor even possible for you to be able to do to them. The other thing that is interesting that I recently learned is that apparently in a traditional Jewish wedding, there is a point in the ceremony where the groom actually covers the bride's face. So she is uncovered and he recovers her face. And the idea is that he wants to assure her that it is not her outward beauty that is what is going to hold his attraction and attention and faithfulness, but it is something else. It is an inward beauty. Wow, I love that. As a woman, frankly, who knows that time does kind of ravage some of our beauty as life goes on. I appreciate that so much. And to know that it's not just the outward trappings, but it's the inward beauty. Wow, that's what you really want to be loved for, because maybe that won't change, whereas the outward certainly will. So, this is what Jesus is saying to us. He's saying, you don't need to change me. You don't need to sell me. You just need to point to me. And I am so appealing as I am that people will be drawn to me. Let us remember that. Those of us who are out trying to win the world for Christ, relax. It's a great product, all right? It really is. And if people want what God is and who he is, they will be attracted to him. All we have to do is point the way. I'm J. Lenora Bressler. I hope you have a great day and visit me on the next day, on the next edition, I should say, hopefully on our next day, of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Have a great day.